Evil Inside is a first-person psychological horror game developed and published by Soft and was released on March 25th of 2021.
My mom is dead.
Evil Inside is one of many horror games that follows in the footsteps of the influential and game-changing horror game PT. It complies to many of the rules that PT established in its mesmerizing wake. After the death of his mother and arrest of his father, the protagonist, Mark, tries to make contact with his mother using a spiritual board. The world around him seems to twist into a demented endless maze of chilling jump-scaring nightmares. One thing that Evil Inside does right is establishing an eerie atmosphere and having some good jump scares. But even then, it's only because it's riding the coattails of something else that was wildly successful. The game is incredibly short, only lasting about an hour, and the experience feels sort of cheap. The story, characters, and your drive isn't really explored or elaborated on until the very uneventful end. The game also has a lot of moments, like PT, where all you need to do is walk back and forth in the hallway a bunch of times until something happens or a door opens. It doesn't feel inventive enough, or feels like there's a purpose to it. It seems as if Evil Inside is just checking off the boxes on the horror trope checklist. Evil Inside definitely has some interesting ideas, but the game doesn't follow up on any of them in intriguing ways. There's a good job at creating a tense and foreboding atmosphere, so if you're looking for a scary game, this may fit the bill. Its attempts to bring anything substantial to the horror genre's table is appreciated, but the execution just feels like it's a cheap knockoff of something that did it better. This may be a decent substitute to the masterpiece that came out in 2014, but the unapologetic carbon copy style and design doesn't make it memorable, and its feeble effort to make anything engaging makes me rather leave the evil outside. I give Evil Inside a 4 out of 10. Pineview Drive is a first-person horror game developed by Visual Imagination Software, Silent Future, and Sopronia, published by UIG Entertainment, Silent Future, and Iridium Media Group, and was released on July 31st of 2014. 20 years ago, the protagonist and his wife, Linda, stayed at the estate at Pineview Drive. Linda mysteriously disappeared, and after searching and not getting any answers, the protagonist has come back to the haunted building to uncover unnerving truths. There's a myth that no one can stay there for more than 30 days without the place taking you. It is up to you to survive the 30 days at Pineview Drive, discover the cryptic messages, and endure the hauntings to reveal what actually happened to your wife. In Pineview Drive, you explore the large mansion and the surrounding area for keys and other items to unlock more rooms and secrets. During your time exploring, the day will gradually pass, making it harder to see in the dark while the building launches a bombardment of different hauntings. The more you notice or look at the hauntings, the more scared you will get. Hauntings include small whispers and weird sounds, birds hitting windows, clocks chiming, and even actual ghosts wandering the halls. The tone and atmosphere are immediately set, and the tension can get pretty intense at times since it gets really hard to see. Graphically, the game is mediocre, and the game can be confusing in a bad way at times. To progress the story, you need to find notes in specific spots, and if you miss a key in a newly unlocked room, you may find yourself aimlessly wandering, not knowing what to do. Missing an item is actually an easy thing to do, since the lighting is very dark, and sometimes you need to open a room for an event to happen so something else can unlock or spawn in the area for you to complete, and there won't even be anything in the newly opened room. While that doesn't sound that bad, that is all the game is. It is just one big scavenger hunt. It can get tedious just walking from room to room, lighting candles to figure out what you need to do next.
We enjoyed a nice day at the sea. We were awakened by noises in the night. I didn't find anything, though.
Pineview Drive is expressive with its environment and spooky atmosphere, but outdated graphics and monotonous gameplay makes the game less tolerable. It's pretty fun exploring, but the repetitiveness hits fast as you need to track the same paths over and over again in the same looking environment. The game did get updated with a couple of different fixes and gameplay modes, like your flashlight having a longer battery life, or a daytime mode where you can explore everything under the sun without it ever turning nighttime. These inclusions don't really change the gameplay though, and your overall 30-day experience at Pineview Drive may make you wish that you left day one. I give Pineview Drive a 4.5 out of 10. Joe's Diner is a first-person horror game developed by Visual Imagination Software, Silent Future, Sopronia, and Join Dots, published by UIG Entertainment, Join Dots, and Iridium Media Group, and was released on March 31st of 2015. Joe's Diner is one of those unreputable diners stashed out in the middle of nowhere that you would only stop at if you were actually starving. You play as someone who has the night shift at the diner, and your job is to clean up every night. Unfortunately, the diner was built on top of a Native American burial ground in which two chieftains slumber. In their waking life, one chief played pranks on the peaceful one, causing a relentless circle of calamity. The goal of the game is to have a clean diner by the end of your shift, while also dealing with the hauntings of the chief's quarrel and conundrums.
We're along the old Route 7, in the middle of nowhere, built on the remains of an old Native American cemetery, is Joe's Diner.
Joe's Diner is a pitiful excuse for a game. The mechanics of the game are never explained properly. A large majority of the time, you have no idea what you are supposed to be doing. You walk around to pick up dirty dishes while the Native American chief is constantly bugging you by pulling pranks like making the phone ring, activating the ice machine, or turning on the vacuum. All of the sounds are loud amalgamations of weird noises, and you can never fully understand what is making the noise. If you don't know what the noise is, you can't turn it off, and if you don't turn it off, then you'll lose. If you can't take care of your duties while fending off the ghosts, then you are greeted by the most outrageously funny and embarrassing jump scare in the history of video games. The game is not scary or stressful at all because of this, making simply playing the game a chore. Since half the time you don't even know what to do anyway, Joe's Diner is unbearably of poor quality. The Native American shtick doesn't add anything to the game either. While having something being built on ancient burial sites isn't new, it feels like it's played as a joke here just to have some sort of idea for the concept. Joe's Diner is practically just a pickup trash sim. When different equipment goes off, you have no idea what is what, and by the time you do, you're already lost. The horror element of the game isn't even there, making the premise inadequate. Poor execution and graphics in a dull environment with nothing to do quickly creates barriers against the game and the player, making you give up immediately. If you are traveling down Route 7 and come across a lonely diner in the middle of nowhere, I would highly recommend you to just keep on keeping on. I give Joe's Diner a 1 out of 10.